I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Oh yeah, run away. That's what I thought. Oh, hello. I'm gonna get you too. I'm gonna get you too. Oh, get drop shotted. Oh, what the fuck? Hey everybody, sorry about that. Just couldn't help throwing in my frustration when it comes to all those noobs running around Dead Man's Hand. Just ruining everything for me. Just getting sick and tired of it. Anyways, moving on. Third video, decided gonna start some kind of series, and if you can't tell by my lame PowerPoint intro, it's gonna be called Life and Times in Bozeman. And basically I'm gonna be focusing on newspaper articles from opinion section, stupid police reports, and throwing an occasional Craigslist, because you want crazy, that's where the crazies really are, is Craigslist. Basically, I wanted to get started on this because Bozeman's a liberal town, Montana's a conservative state, and basically, we're on the front lines of a political crash. Anyways, up first, talk about brucellosis here. It's from the opinion section in the Bozeman Daily Chronicle. This lady goes on to say, why can't ranchers get over the fact that bison have brucellosis, because elk have it too, and, you know, if we're going to wage war against bison, why not against elk, and why not against feral pigs, which I haven't even heard of in Montana, because it gets frickin' freezing here in the winter. Anyways, even if I found a wild pig, that'd be cool. Anyways, ranchers hate bison because they do carry brucellosis. For those of you who don't know, brucellosis is a disease. It's not really a big deal for the males, but females, when they contract it, it causes fetuses to get aborted. And when fetuses get aborted, ranchers lose money. That's the main reason they get so upset, because fetuses are their livelihood. Fetuses become cows. Cows become beef. You know, it's just money in the rancher's pocket that get ruined by this disease. And it is true, elk do carry the disease as well, but just look at the type of environments that elk inhabit compared to bison and cattle. Elk prefer mountainous terrain, lots of trees, steep hills. Cows prefer lowlands, grasslands, you know, pretty level terrain, not too steep, not too rough, enough water. And guess what bison are? They're essentially giant cows. They like the exact same habitat. They can climb very steep areas, you know, to get away, but they would prefer to wallow in the grasslands all day. And if you've ever been to Yellowstone or anywhere in Wyoming and seen bison, you can attest to this too. So that's why ranchers are all up in a flurry about this. And I understand it. Coming from agricultural background, it makes sense. You lose your baby calves, you lose your money for the future. Anyways, moving on to our second one. It's a police report out of the Bozeman Daily Chronicle on Sunday, talking about deputies having to be dispatched to, of all places, the county jail to confiscate drugs and drugs paraphernalia from an inmate. And this one just caught my attention because it seemed incredibly stupid. I mean, first off, to dispatch deputies where they should already be. I mean, last time I checked, sheriffs run the jails. It was the same in San Diego County. It's the same here. And besides that, Bozeman PD and sheriff's office are in the same building, literally across the parking lot from the jail. So dispatch time must have been insane. You know, they must have just showed up right there. Second thing that attracted me to this one was the fact that an inmate managed to smuggle in some kind of drug and some kind of drug paraphernalia that needed to be confiscated. Whatever happened to cavity searches? Whatever happened to frisking, you know, any people that you potentially could arrest or do arrest? I mean, we've all seen cops. We've all seen people get patted down, and it's fun to watch. And, you know, they're usually pretty thorough. You know, they play the whole, it's for our own safety, it's for your safety, we're doing the public good. And obviously they're not doing good. They're sneaking in drugs and drug paraphernalia into the jail, and they successfully do it to the point where they have to dispatch officers to deal with it. It's just a little disturbing to me. I don't know about you. I really had higher expectations for a police department. I know they don't get a lot of use, but it is Montana. You should get some good out of it. Anyways, up number third is another police report of a guy that shot himself in the leg. Don't worry, he was fine. He's in the hospital getting treated. But this actually happens quite a bit in Montana. I know everyone's thinking, oh, of course it happens a lot in Montana. Everyone has a freaking gun there. Yeah, it's true. Everyone has a gun. But if you look at the amount of education classes available to the public, I mean, if you were born after 1985, you can't go hunting without hunter's ed. And that's one of the prime rules of hunter's ed is treat a firearm like it's always loaded. I mean, you learn that from when you're a little tiny kid. I mean, you always respect the firearm. I don't know why this happens so often in a state where guns are so prevalent, education is so prevalent, and, you know, gun awareness is so high. It just shouldn't. It's ridiculous. I mean, the amount of time that our public servants go out and have to deal with people that accidentally shot themselves. I mean, it's at least in the paper every week, if not every 3 days. It's just insane. I mean, I have an entire book of police reports from Bozeman, and it's just chock full of them. But, oh, look at this. Oh, FMGs. Oh, finally. It only took 2 entire freaking mags. What are you gonna do, though, right? What are you gonna do? I love these guns. I don't care. People say they're ridiculous. I don't think they're secondaries. They use them like a secondary. They work like a secondary. They're great. This game's, I mean, there's flaws. Every game has its flaws. And YouTube community likes to bitch about it. I'll get into that later. We got our 4th one coming up. It's actually from Craigslist. And like I said, Craigslist is full of crazies. And I got you the liberal brucellosis one from the paper. To get the conservative, you gotta find the crazy. And this is a guy, he's trying to form a conservative group of people, like-minded people on Craigslist. And what he wants to do is, you know, discuss getting prepared for the upcoming economic crisis that Obama's causing, and, you know, getting prepared for all this bad stuff that's going to happen. And, you know, I'm conservative, I'm very conservative, but this guy is just plain crazy. I mean, we have economic safeguards so that we don't go into a Great Depression. There's nothing Obama could do. I mean, he is, you know, destroying this country slowly, but he's not going to be able to do it. Even if he gets reelected, it's something that's going to take longer than 8 years, and it's going to be at least a generation. But anyways, this guy goes to talk about legislation that they recently passed about trespassing, and I forget what the legislation exactly was, but national rights or something like that, or National Preparedness Act or something like that. Anyways, basically it's just there for the government to prevent Katrina-like disasters. I mean, look how long it took them to get water to the Superdome. I mean, that's ridiculous, and this is the government's way to stop that. It's basically, if you guys don't know, it says that martial law basically gets enacted in times of national disaster, which could be natural, it could be like World War III or something like that. Basically, martial law goes in, and the government is allowed to commandeer resources needed to provide aid during such disasters. And, you know, of course, you know, the way our government works, the way our laws are enacted, there would be some kind of compensation, maybe not immediately, but when everything's calmed down, everything's good again, of course there's going to be some kind of compensation. People are going to get paid back for these goods. And martial law, I mean, if it's for the greater good, as you could say, it's not really a bad thing. It's not permanent. It's in times of national disaster. I'm just going to leave it at that. Crazy conservatives, they make me look bad. Anyways, you know, I'm gonna start rambling about Call of Duty for the last 20 seconds here. It has its bugs. Like right now, the AC-130 glitch is going around, and of course 402 is gonna patch that shit like crazy. You know, they aren't being very proactive in their patching. But oh, look at this! I got dropped. Oh well, I guess that's all, guys. Thanks for listening. See you next time. Have a great day.